Hello, guys, and welcome to a new series that I would like to call Clean and Chat with Brandy, where I will clean different parts of my house and we can chat about whatever it is that we want to chat about. So, today we're going to be chatting about where have I been? Where have I been? So, let's address the elephant in the room first of all. I am not in the same house that I was in before. We moved to a totally different state back in November. So that's something new. But let's talk about why your girl been gone for almost 11 months. So I had my baby last May in the midst of my husband being deployed, and postpartum and healing was a little bit more rockier than I thought it would be. A few weeks after having my baby, my husband had to leave to go back and finish deployment, and I was struggling postpartum wise. I had had a C-section, and right before my husband had left, part of my incision had busted open, and I had gotten an infection. So the healing process took way longer than it should have been. And so, it was just me by myself with my husband, without my husband, a newborn baby, and a 3-year-old. And, I didn't have a village with me. My mom already left because she had to come early because I had got real, real sick right before I had my baby. And so I needed some help. So it was just me. And so I was having to do it all. I was running on absolutely no sleep because the baby was up at night. My daughter's up during the day. And so the last thing that I was really thinking about was YouTube and making a video and trying to edit a video and put out some content, because I was just like, I can't even sleep. I can't even sleep. So how am I going to have time to do anything else? And on top of that, just having a really hard time healing. I was just in a lot of pain, and it was just too much going on around the time that I had my baby. So my husband did finally get home for him to have to turn around and leave again like a month later, and he was gone for about a month. And so once again, it was just me with the toddler and the baby. And during this time, which I'll chat about it a little bit now, but I'll also add it into another video. During this time, while my husband was gone, I decided to relactate, because when he left the first time to finish deployment, I was like, I cannot be up all night pumping. At the time, I was no longer nursing because he wouldn't latch and he wouldn't gain weight. So at this time, I was like, I'm just going to switch to formula, blah, 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 blah. And so the second time my husband had to leave, I was like, formula is really expensive. It's really hard to find. So I randomly just put my baby on me, and he latched perfectly. And I was like, okay, so he can latch. I think I'm going to try and relactate to get my milk supply back, so I don't have to be paying money for formula and hunting down formula. So during that time, it took me about 8 weeks to fully get my milk supply back. And long story short, because like I said, I'll cover this in another video. Long story short, I had to pump every 3 hours around the clock, basically dry pumping, which was like when nothing's coming out, until something started coming out. I had to dry pump, latch him as much as I could. And so I kept doing that just until my supply came back. And I realized my supply came back one day when he like nursed from me and was satisfied, didn't cry, didn't take from the bottle or anything. So the only downfall with that is after I got my milk supply back. He refused to take bottles, even though he had been on bottles since he was like 2 weeks old. And so I've been nursing ever since, and he still doesn't sleep through the night to this day. So after all that happened, my husband pretty much came home from his last trip and was like, we're moving, and we're moving in November. And mind you, around this time, it's July. So August, September, October, November. We got 4 months until we got to move. So now my mind is just like, oh my goodness, we're moving in November. Mind you, the place where we were previously at, we were supposed to still be there for another year and some change. But then my husband got a new assignment, and so it was time to go. So after that, I was like, at first, I wanted to so bad film about moving and packing and everything else, but I just could not manage it all with just myself, my daughter, and the baby. Like, I just couldn't do it. If I had a little bit of extra help, like a village or something, like someone could like entertain them for a couple of hours, then yes, because my husband had came home and he still had to go to work. So it was just me during the day. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But then in the midst of getting ready to move, we had a very, very, very tragic death in the family in October. My sister had been diagnosed with breast cancer the year before, and unfortunately she got real, real sick around August, and she passed in October. So my husband had went back home in October to take care of all of that, and he was gone for 2 weeks, and it was just a really terrible time. Really, really terrible time. So that happened, and by the time he got back home from taking care of things that had to do with his sister and her funeral, it was time for us to move. So it's crunch time. So we're packing up and we having to make arrangements, arrange the car, arrange the dog, find a house, make sure that we have important information that we need. And so back in November, we moved to a whole nother state, cross country. So what you see here is me in our new house, our new home for the next 3 years, and my new little kitchen, little house that we're renting, and I really like it a lot. And so we'll be here hopefully for the next 3 years. And so yeah, after that, the holidays came quickly. We were moved into our house about a week before Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving came. We had just got our furniture around the time that Thanksgiving rolled around. So we were still unpacking around that time. Then after Thanksgiving, we had Christmas and New Year's, and just a lot was just going on, and I was still trying to juggle. Oh. Sorry about that, guys. My computer froze. I was still trying to juggle motherhood and like motherhood, not really motherhood because I've already been a mother, but like just having two kids. Like, my son was getting older and he learned his skills rather quickly. Like, around 2 to 3 months, he was rolling around. He was crawling by 4 months, 4 or 5 months, he was crawling. Between 6, 7, 8 months, he could pull himself up. And at 10 months, he started walking. And so he's walking now. My daughter is getting ready to turn 4. I'm still nursing after successfully relactating back in when did I successfully relactate? I think the end of August, beginning of September. I successfully relactated. So yeah, my daughter's getting ready to turn 4 here in a couple of weeks actually, and hopefully she will be going to preschool this year. My son will be 1 next month, and I could say things have gotten a little bit easier trying to find a groove. I know I'll go through just a little bit of a shift once my daughter starts school, but it shouldn't be too bad. And I'm waiting. I cannot wait for the day that my son sleeps through the night, because he still wakes up like every 2 to 3 hours. So, whew. And he doesn't want his daddy in the middle of the night. All he wants is mommy. So, I can't wait for him to sleep through the night. And so, yes, that has been what has been going on with me and why I have been gone for almost a year. Honestly, I didn't know if I was going to come back, and I'm really hoping that I can keep this going. Like, I want to keep the motivation going. It was just really hard just for me to even pick back up. Like, I really wasn't even motivated to pick back up and edit videos and stuff. So I'm going to try and keep this going and try and post every Friday to the best of my ability. My channel is going to be getting a little bit of a revamp. I want to do the Clean and Chat with Brandy's. There's a lot of topics that I want to talk to you guys about, and that you guys can chime down below, like just talking about things: motherhood, military lifestyle, sometimes celebrity gossip. I don't know, I'm on the fence about that one. I know one of the next topics I want to cover is low maintenance friends versus high maintenance friends, because whew, I got some stuff to say about that. So my goal is to try to post every Friday, and I'm going to try and stay consistent as much as I can, and just try and squeeze in making videos and editing videos when my son is calm and things of that nature. Also, let me know down in the comments what kind of topics do you want to hear me talk about. The door is open. This is a no judgment zone. We could talk about anything, and just a place to chit chat and just be free and be yourself, express your opinions without worrying about what the next person has to say. I appreciate the ones that have stuck around. I know when you're gone for almost a year, you're probably like, so are they coming back? Are they coming back? And sometimes it's just really hard to want to come back, especially when you've been gone for so long. But I want to keep this going like I used to, and hopefully this is the start of something new. But anyways, this video right here was just a video of me cleaning up my kitchen from the night before. I was cleaning it in the morning the next day. I was just too tired to clean it up after dinner. So that, and then when I say morning the next day, I mean morning after breakfast. So that's why it was just extra on top of extra dishes, because I was cleaning up cleaning up the kitchen from the night before. I did not mop the floor just because it was so early in the day and I still need to use the kitchen. This was literally Easter Sunday. So happy Easter. He has risen. Amen. So this was Easter Sunday. I knew I was going to cook again that night for dinner. So I just want to do like a quick tidy up, just a quick get me back and started into the game with some cleaning motivations and just some chit chatting and things like that. But yeah, so that's what's been going on with me for the past year. Had a baby, had a tragic loss, unfortunately. moved to a new state and just trying to take things one day at a time. So, comment down below, what have you guys been up to for the past year? Any major life changes, new jobs, moving, like achieved any goals? Let me know in the comments down below. And um if you want more content like this, be sure to check out my old videos if you have not before. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Comment down below on some new topics, and we can get this ball rolling. So I just wanted to say something real quick about my subject versus high maintenance friends versus low maintenance friends. I personally don't believe in that, because if someone's gonna want to be your friend and talk to you, then they're going to want, they'll find a way to talk to you. But I have some dilemmas where I got a couple of people who are supposed to be my friends, and I'm messaging people, checking in on people, and if you message people on Messenger, like, you can see when they read your messages. So these people read my messages and they don't respond, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. They're just busy, and it's okay to be busy. The problem is when you sent this message like 4, 5, even 6 months ago, they don't respond, and then it takes you having to send them another message to respond. And sometimes they may not respond, or they will respond, and they're probably kind of responding because they probably think I'm being pushy. So I'm gonna go through a whole rant about that, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to keep reaching out to people, like, if they're not gonna respond, for months at a time, anyways. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this first episode up of Clean and Chat with Me. I know I sounded like just a chatterbug, but there's so much going on, and I'm just trying to squeeze it into the duration of the video. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye now.